Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, yogi and spiritual teacher. I will fill the world with love and create heaven on earth. The phase transition to heaven on earth is irreversible. Express my delight for all the millennia to come that the world is going to be a happy world. The future of the world is bright, in that is my delight. Unexpected, unimaginable bright future for mankind on the single individual level of enlightenment and on the level of enlightenment of the whole nation and on the level of enlightenment of the whole world. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi began teaching the transcendental meditation technique in India in 1953 and went on a world tour to teach it and establish centers in 1958, arriving in the US in 1959. Approximately 10 million people have learned the technique, and Maharishi is generally credited with making meditation a household word, at least in the West. He also developed and founded scores of other spiritual modalities, especially the advanced TM City program. The Maharishi effect, rather well known in the New Age community, which shows 25 to 75% reduction in negative societal trends, has been evidenced so far by 118 published studies, many of them peer-reviewed. I know of no one who has spoken more about heaven on earth than Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. His life revolved around it for the latter half of his life, and around the lives of those who worked for him. Although he said he created the phase transition to the age of enlightenment, it is accurate to say his purpose and mission was to help create heaven on earth. Maharishi could even be referred to as Mr. Heaven on Earth. He began speaking publicly about world peace and a happy new era for mankind in 1955, and as of 1972, taught all his teachers to thoroughly discuss world peace in every introductory TM talk. In 1974, he declared the dawn of the Age of Enlightenment and went on a world tour to announce this on every continent to large audiences. In the late 70s, he spoke frequently and extensively about the phase transition from the age of ignorance to the age of enlightenment, and said the principles underlying the old age and new were opposite, that everything would be reversed in the age of enlightenment. He also stated the decline in natural law is slow, and its revival is relatively fast. When Maharishi was asked when the age of enlightenment would take place, he usually replied, soon, and often added, very soon. He began speaking publicly about heaven on earth as distinct from world peace and the age of enlightenment at least as early as 1992, and probably earlier. Maharishi stated that societal decay is slow and gradual, and the ascension is fast, and does not take that long. He said the more intense phase transition, with exposure of major wrongs and crumbling of old ways and institutions, would begin in earnest sometime between 2020 and 2025. Heaven on earth still exists in the movement he founded as a theme, for example, in the form of the replaying of many of the videos he made and books he wrote about this. And a song, Heaven is Descending, is shown every day on the Invincible America Assembly in the Golden Domes on IU campus in Fairfield, Iowa, broadcast digitally all over the world with its beautiful graphics of heavenly life on earth. I heard the following account from several TM teachers, independently, one of whom with friends on international staff in the 70s. Maharishi was in a meeting with a group of governors, and someone asked him when heaven would descend on earth. There were some Jyotishis, Vedic astrologers there. Maharishi asked them in Hindi when heaven on earth would begin. The Jyotishis talked it over, then replied to Maharishi in Hindi. Maharishi translated to the group, when the Orange Man becomes president in 2020 to 2025, recollections and notes from a friend. Utopia is going to happen to Earth whether people want it or not. It is going to be forced upon them. Life in the coexistence of opposites throughout society. People will continue with their divergent tendencies. Government will keep them all well coordinated. People should be what they want. That's the only way to be happy. Life will never be happy to stay at any one level. There must be steps of evolution, so happiness is maintained. The tempo of evolutionary process must be maintained. Paraphrase, if something bad happens, if government is strong, it will take responsibility for that and not blame someone else like the other party. This was in response to Reagan's comment that government must take responsibility for both the good and bad. The above description is only a bare outline of Maharishi on heaven on earth, and does not do justice to him or what he said and did to further the development heaven on earth.